Welcome to day 29 of our 30-day series. We're almost at the end, but tonight is the night we test your courage. Midnight, a graveyard, the ultimate test of fear. Will you make it to the end of this video, or will you turn away? Let's find out. There's something about graveyards that unnerves us, even in the light of day. But at night, especially at midnight, they become places of primal fear. Shadows stretch longer, and the air feels heavy. Some say, at the stroke of midnight, the veil between the living and the dead grows thin. Before we dive into tonight's challenge, let's set the stage. Imagine you're here, standing in the middle of this cemetery. It's cold. The ground beneath your feet feels soft, like the earth could give way at any moment. You hear the rustle of leaves, but there's no breeze. Every instinct in your body is telling you to leave, but you stay. Why? Maybe you want to prove you're not afraid, but sometimes it's the things we can't see that we should fear the most. The challenge for tonight is simple. Imagine spending 1 hour here, in the dead of night, with nothing but the sound of your own breathing. Could you do it? What would you feel as the clock struck midnight? Let's break it down, step by step, and test your courage. Close your eyes. Imagine you're alone in the graveyard. The sky is pitch black, not a star in sight. You check your watch. It's 11:55 p.m. Just 5 minutes until midnight. You start to hear things. Footsteps on the gravel path, twigs snapping underfoot. But when you look around, no one's there. Your heart begins to race. You try to tell yourself it's just your mind playing tricks on you, but deep down, you're not so sure. 11:57 p.m. The mist grows thicker. Your visibility is now limited to a few feet in front of you. You hear a low groan from behind one of the headstones, but when you approach, there's nothing. 11:59 p.m. You stand in the center of the graveyard, waiting. The seconds drag on, for what feels like hours. Each tick of the clock sounds louder, more deliberate, as if counting down to something. And then, midnight strikes. The hour has come. This is when most people would run, but you stay. You're determined to see this through. That's what courage is, right? Facing your fears even when everything inside you is screaming to leave. But sometimes, staying means encountering things you wish you hadn't. Imagine standing there, feeling a presence behind you. You turn around slowly ... and you see a figure. It's not clear, more like a shadow than a person. Your mind races. Is it real? Or just another trick of the night? Do you approach it, or do you leave? What you just experienced is the exact moment when fear turns into terror. The difference: fear is knowing something might happen. Terror is when it already has. Now, let's take it a step further. Picture this. You decide to approach the figure, your footsteps slow and cautious. Each step seems louder than the last. You reach the headstone where it stood, but when you get there, there's no one. Just the name of someone long dead, etched into the stone. You feel a chill crawl up your spine. Suddenly, the wind picks up. It howls through the trees, sending leaves flying around you like a storm. At this point, your pulse is racing. You feel watched. You feel hunted. But still, you stay. The bravest people are the ones who confront what scares them most. And now, it's your turn. Would you leave the graveyard, or would you walk toward the figure one last time? Not everyone would make it this far, but you did. And that's day 29, testing your courage in the dead of night. Did you feel the fear creeping up on you? Could you handle an hour in the graveyard at midnight? Or would you turn and run? Let me know in the comments below. Would you face your fears, or have you already reached your limit? Tomorrow, day 30, the grand finale. You've made it this far. Don't miss it. Until then, sleep well, if you can.